Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Inasyafitri Nazihan. Here I want to explain my presentation of academic speaking course by the title The Use of English for Specific Purposes, or ESP. Let's check it out. Okay, for the first is definition of English for specific purposes, or ESP. English for specific purposes, or ESP, or English for special purposes, is a new approach in teaching and using English for special fields and studies that are in accordance with the needs of the fields and science and professions that are used English. The fields of science and profession are, for example, English for law, medicine, mechanical engineering, economics, or maritime, and so on. Hutchinson and Waters in 1994 argued that learning English for specific purposes, or ESP, is an English learning approach where the things taught and teaching methods are based on the reason why the learner wants to learn English. Okay, for the next is the aim of English for specific purposes, or ESP. The aim of ESP is for students to be able to master English in field they are studying. For example, chemistry students. Then they must understand English for chemistry, or if they are engineering students, they must know English for engineering. Or if they work in hospitality, then they must master hospitality English. If they are maritime students, then they must master maritime English. ESP is generally used in foreign language teaching for certain uses in certain fields of science and profession. This goal is generally understood as a benefit in the rule of English as a means of communication, both oral and written. Therefore, ESP should be seen as an approach, concept, and method that is different from general English. ESP is an English teaching approach that has different approaches, perceptions, designs, materials, evaluations, and goals. ESP material refers to the needs of students and graduate users themselves. For the next, characteristic of English for specific purposes. Several ESP experts provide various and varied characteristics of ESP in learning English. Streffens 1988 in Kristen Greathouse, Key Issues in English for Specific Purposes Curriculum Development, says that there are four main characteristics of ESP as in approach to learning English. For the first, ESP is designed to meet the needs of learners. For the second, the substance and content of ESP associated with themes and topics in certain fields of science, certain types of work or activities. For the third, centered on linguistics forms that are in accordance with activities in fields of science or work such as syntax, lexical, discourse, semantics, and so on. And for the last, ESP is different from general English. Robinson further said that there are three main characteristics of ESP that distinguish it from general English, or English as a foreign language, or EFL, or English as a mother tongue, or EMT. The three characteristics are: the first, ESP is goal-oriented learning. In this content, learners learn ESP because it has specific goals in academic and professional fields with one another. For the second, ESP substance is designed and developed based on the concept of needs analysis. The concept of needs analysis aims to specialize and relate and bring closer what students need in both academic and professional fields. For the third, ESP is more aimed at adult learners than children or adolescents. This is logical because ESP is generally taught at the secondary and higher academic and professional levels or in the workplace. For the next, benefits of implementing ESP courses in universities. Based on implementation of ESP courses in universities, basically ESP courses provide dual benefits. For the first, because ESP is given when they are pursuing academic education according to their field of interest. Students learn to use English directly in the content of their discipline for both academic and non-academic interests. The academic interest here is being able to read, write, talk about things related to the content or the content of their disciplines. The non-academic interests are interests outside their disciplines, such as speaking, reading, listening, writing, things that are used in daily life or daily needs. For example, talking to lecturers, friends, writing like reviews, listening to English news, and much more. For the second, to prepare for the world of work. As we all know, English is now an absolute requirement to find a job. Many job interview sessions require the TOEFL or use English as an introduction. This happens because companies are preparing themselves to be able to compete more globally, especially in the current free trade era. Not only in the interview session, but in carrying out work segments in the company, English cannot be separated from it. Examples are receptionist, marketing, customer service, buying or company jobs, technicians, programmers, journalists, lawyers, and others. Okay, for the next, ESP implementation challenges. The dual benefits can be provided by this ESP course will be achieved maximally if the challenges of implementing ESP can be overcome. At least they can be minimized. The challenges lie in the lectures, materials, facilities, university policies, and ESP students. For the first challenge lies with the teacher. ESP lectures in universities generally have several characteristics. That is, teachers who are young or new or junior and less experienced. For the second, challenge is on the material. The fact that some commercial textbooks available in the market are not suitable for the different needs of learners per college, each school year, and each class. Anthony 1997. Okay, for the third challenge is the institutional policy. The policies of this institution include two things, that is policies regarding curriculum and facilities policies. For the fourth, the challenge is from ESP students. This challenge includes two things, that the entire proficiency level of the learner and the motivation of the learner. For the next is solution of ESP implementation challenges. The challenges mentioned above must be resolved for the good and progress of various parties. Good synergy between universities, students, and stakeholders is needed. The synergy that can be done can be in the form of attention to the development of ESP materials or textbooks for various majors or study programs. The development of textbooks is seen as one solution considering the unique character of ESP courses that are not the same from one department study program to another. Even though the department or study program is the same, but for students in different region or university institutions, as a result of the visions of each other, missions of different institutions and faculties. For the last is conclusion. Hanson and Waters 1994 argue that learning English for specific purpose or ESP is an English learning approach where the things taught and the teaching methods are based on the reasons why the learner wants to learn English. It can be concluded that ESP or English for Special Purposes is an approach in teaching and using English for special fields and studies that are in accordance with the needs of the fields of science and professions that use English. The fields of science and professions are, for example, English for law, medicine, psychology, engineering, economics, and so on. It is intended to prepare learners to use English either for academic purposes, professional, or work environment, and program design based on needs analysis. Okay, I think enough from me. Thank you for your attention. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.